do it till we're gray-haired, swiping on like grays or whatever, like the
Grays. I've got gray hairs. You guys don't have gray hairs?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have gray chest hair. I have gray
I have gray
hair
beard hair for a while. It's like pretty white on the sides of my chins for some time. But I have a ginger beard. People always ask me questions about that.
what kind of questions?
The carpet match the pubes?
Well, the upstairs carpet match the downstairs carpet. No, it does not. It is, yeah, thankfully. That's the
It's all gray there.
It's all.
Just
I
the
dye it gray, actually. My pubes, I dye gray, actually.
The silver fox downstairs.
Oh gosh. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a few things. We got some questions that came in from our audience. Thank you guys so much for submitting those to us. We really appreciate it. But we really want to get down to the bottom of, like, can guys and girls be friends? Can men and women actually have a platonic relationship, or does sex always get in the way? And in I don't want to deflect to Jordan, as we always do. So
I'll take it. I have a hot take right now. I mean,
you're ready?
I was the one who pitched this subject before, so I am ready with somewhat of a hot take.
Okay, then kicking it off, Jordan Kahana.
So one of my theories on this is that guys and girls can be friends if they had sex initially and then became friends afterwards, where it's like, we got that out of the way. It was immediate, like, of just, you're attractive, I'm attractive, but it's like, we don't work. You're actually really awesome, so we can just be friends, and I'm not, like, jealous of you going on dates, and we can talk about other dates and all that kind of stuff. But the caveat to that is where guys and girls can't be friends, or where the issue is if you're friends first and then the attraction builds. Because if one person expresses interest and the other person isn't into that, then that friendship kind of is tainted at that point. Or if you're like, hey, we're friends for a long time, and then you have sex, the relationship then completely changes. It's hard, I think, to, like, backslide in that sense, as opposed to, hey, we met on a dating app, or we met out and about and the attraction was there, some drinks were flowing, or even if there wasn't, and that happens, and then the friendship kind of builds off of that. That's my take.
So to be friends with Jordan, you must have sex.
No, this isn't black and white type of thing. I think this is a big it is one of the avenues. There's a lot of layers to it, obviously. I don't think this is the end all be all, but I think this is one avenue of how guys and girls can be friends.
See, I totally disagree. I think it is black and white, and I don't think men and women can be friends without there being sexual energy
at all.
At all. I don't think so. Yeah.
So I think we can share some personal stories here, but I think
We usually do.
no one can have an attraction. So if both do, you can't be friends. If one does, you can't be friends. But if both somehow are just like, you're awesome, I have no attraction to you, and you're just a human person that is my friend, then I think you can.
I've never experienced this.
Well, that's because you're very sexy.
Well, thank you, and as are you. And
thank you. I'm fishing.
But the reality is just like, I don't know. I'm thinking of, like, even back in high school, like, my closest girlfriends I wanted to have sex with.
Like, I know. Hold on. There are friends. You have female friends that you have not, that you do. I know this right now.
Who, no? Me?
Yeah.
I can look through my phone, but I don't think there's any girls in there that I'm friends with that I don't want to have sex with. I mean, I take that back. There are work colleagues.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I guess that's different.
That is completely non-sexual. However, I notice their beauty or their sexual. It's impossible to not feel that or see that. For me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, you can still be friends with someone and acknowledge that they are attractive. That's not what we're getting. I don't think that, like, to be friends with a female doesn't mean that you, like, remove the idea that, hey, they look really good tonight, or, like, you're a human being in that sense. So
what is the point of having a female friend?
Well, you like the person.
Well, I agree
dude.
because
I no, I'm just curious. So like, what do you guys do if you have a female friend that you aren't gonna sexually
All right.
pursue?
I have several female friends who some of them I am attracted to, but I don't see them as that, or like if you were to meet your buddy's girlfriend, how you kind of mentally are like, that person is not, you just don't see them in that light.
Totally.
I've done that with friends. Other friends that are female, I know that they're very attractive, but I don't have that spark with them. And I think as long as no one has that spark, you can still be friends. But it's really
but
awesome.
going off of what,
Okay, I was gonna say it's awesome having friends who are the opposite sex.
100%, I agree. I think it's really important.
Girls are awesome.
Yeah, 100%. But to go off of your point and also off of Rob's point is that you've never been introduced to your buddy's girlfriend and we're like, damn, they're really attractive, but like that's off the tape. Like you can acknowledge that they're attractive.
Yeah, 100%. But you know how like mentally, at least this is what I do. It's almost like your brain is like, you don't perceive them as, right. I don't know, your brain like computes it as like not even in the realm of romantic because it's your buddy's girlfriend. So I definitely have seen buddy's girlfriends and been like, oh, she's beautiful, but it's more of like, I don't know, it's not like a visceral attraction.
You turn that off in that sense. But
yeah.
One thing that flip that switch. One thing that I did realize, and I wonder if you guys have experienced, is I have never experienced I'm friends with someone first and then we hook up. Like I've never had that like build of attraction that takes place that then that happens and then the friendship gets a little fragile or entangled.
We just had a recent guest who talked about this on a trip in, I think in Mexico or Costa Rica. Yeah, she made out with a guy on like an ATV or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think she had a friend. They were friends.
We were friends we had met like a day or two earlier. So it was kind of like, that's a whole different situation. I'm saying like a month or two into like knowing someone, if not like a year into that.
See, I've definitely done that. I've definitely like friend zoned, but immediately had like sexual chemistry with a friend. And then 3 years later, we hook up.
What happened to the friendship after?
Like, whoa. What'd you say?
What happened to the friendship after?
Oh, it maintained. It maintained friendship. And then when we see each other, we kind of are like, what's up?
Wait, are you friends or not?
I've seen your bits.
No, we are friends, but there is sexual chemistry. I don't know how else to put it. It's like once the sexual frosting has been put on a relationship, right, you cannot unfrost the cake. The cake stays frosted with sexual tension, and that's just it. I don't think it goes away.
I don't know why this metaphor works, but it works. Yeah.
And I do understand.
Cake fucks. Cake fucks. That's just a fact.
I do also agree with Rob's point with that, like to a certain point, you like can't be friends because for someone that you've had a romantic past with, that once they start dating someone else, the likelihood of your connection or relationship is more than not going to be removed. Like the need to be in contact or to have that friendship of, rarely are people cool with like, oh yeah, you guys had sex. Yeah, definitely like have them come to my birthday party. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a complicated issue.
I'll share one of, because I've been on both sides of this. In like 2020, I met someone, and what's funny about this podcast too is like some of these individuals that we're referencing are still in our lives and have listened to it. So it's like always doing the like respect out of vagueness to their lives. Well, also it's like specific enough that they're like, hey, did you mention me on episode 5? Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Episode 3:25? Was that me?
Actually have the transcript. We hit it off immediately. It became like fast friends. And then the romantic entered the equation one night, kind of to what you both were saying. And like the next time we hung out, I honestly was like, so do we send out save the date cards? Like, where do we go from here? And she was like, no, we are just friends. And I'll be honest, I was cool with it because I loved her so much as a friend and also as my potential life partner that just didn't see it yet. And I kept thinking like she would come around, and she didn't. And I mean, it affected the friendship. We kind of stopped being friends because it just got too tough. Like there was only so many times I could, she's like out on a Friday with a guy and we're like hanging out the next morning and like his jacket's there on like her, on her couch. And I'm like, no, it's totally chill though, because we're friends and I don't feel anything. I'm dead inside. Like,
well, that's why that's the issue that comes into play of guys and girls potentially can't be friends, because if one person has a stronger attraction towards the other, then it doesn't work. There's jealousy or frustration. And I think one of the things that I was saying a little bit of where this idea came from of like having sex first and then being friends later on is that temptation or that, and I don't want, and this almost falls back to like the possessive thing, treating someone as a person or a possession. It's just like seeing them talking to someone else or hearing about them going on other dates. You're like, well, we've already like explored that. So I'm not jealous of that. I'm not envious of this other person in the way of that. I've kind of already experienced that versus you haven't. So you feel like, what is it about me that isn't able to get? So, I mean, I guess I'm just explaining jealousy at that point, but there's a lot of layers here. I understand that it's a flawed logic on my part.
How many girlfriends do you guys have right now?
I have several. I'm not trying to. I have several.
You have a lot. Okay, so Weber has a lot of girlfriends. Jordan, how many girlfriends do you have?
Friends who are girls.
Friends who are girls, not actual girlfriends, but friends who are girls.
I would say I have a good handful. I don't think I don't talk to them on an everyday basis. Like the way that you like. I'm
in the same boat. I'd say I have a handful of friends that are girls. Now, of that group, look at them, line them up. Who would you sleep with?
70%.
I'm at like 90%.
See, my
Jordan, how many would you sleep with? They're lined up.
I think my concern is that the people that I consider that are friends are like, I think I have, and that's why like that's where my logic comes in.
You're proving
that's my
the
logic,
point.
but like at the that's where my theory comes into play.
So, but it almost like negates it,
except for like maybe two. If I said like I had like,
would you sleep
10,
with those two?
Yeah, they're attractive people.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, but I'm not like itching to do that.
It's not about an itch. There's no itch. It's just it's a fact of human existence that I don't know. I think if there's any level of attraction between a male and a female, then it's game on.
I think I still stand by it can happen. You can be friends because, you might not act on it. You might just be like, okay, we're attracted to each other. But I think there's a difference between attracted and, oh, I really have feelings for you.
Absolutely.
Because if it's just, okay, because the people that I'm imagining, the friends whom are girls, a lot of them are beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful. But I don't have that. I don't have like, oh, I care. I like you like this so much. Does that make sense? But
like if one of them showed up at your place and they were like, Alex, I just really need to take a shower with you.
Well, okay.
Right now.
It's such a weird fantasy to be presented by Rob to be looking at me.
Well, two things. I'm laughing at the idea that the next time Alex goes out with one of his girlfriends, they're going to be like, am I in the 30% or the 70%? Like really pressuring him on that. And then secondly, this brings up a point too that I was having with someone recently talking about this conversation. This is where it sparked in my head, is that she said that it only works if the girl is not sexually attracted to the guy, because at the core, men are weak when it comes to sex. That if a night out or something like Rob is saying, presenting that she just like late night comes over to your house and she's like, sleep with me right now. Like more times than not, guys are weak where they're just like, we get to have sex? This is awesome. Yeah. Like,
so basically it's all in the girls' camp.
I don't think so. I've had experiences where I've have a friend that is a girl, and I'm using air quotes because I don't think it exists. And then she's been like, let's like, when are we gonna hang out? Let's do this. And I'm like, you are like a friend in my eyes, and I have to kind of push it away.
And then did you stay friends or no?
Yeah, we're still friends.
Like, but like, also let's break down friends, because there's friends who you like, talk to, and then there's like friends. Are you like really in each other's lives?
No, we like keep track with each other on social media and occasional texts. We check in. We want to like make sure we're both okay. We kind of went through like
friendly versus friends.
yeah, we're friendly. Like we both went through a
Yeah,
dark time at the same time. So we connected that way.
darky buddies.
Darky buddies.
We have fun here. We have fun with our
We do.
with our
All right,
scary times.
so then just to round out this conversation, uh it's either black and white, girls and guys can't be friends. There's gray, or there's girls can't be friends. You guys vote. My vote, I'll go first. My vote
I
is
thought the black and white is.
oh yeah, maybe
I
there's
don't
only
think
two
there's three
options.
avenues. It's either black and white or it's gray.
Can I propose one more situation that has entered
Absolutely.
the
More
world?
than
propose.
anything.
And she may be listening to this one, but she also said, because she came up before and she said we did it very well, so hopefully that continues in terms of this talking about it. So
I can't tell if you're talking about having sex with this friend or if you're
no,
talking
no,
about
no. We
talking about
were
this
never
friend.
friends. We were never friends. We went on dates. This took place over a few years, and we really developed strong feelings for each
Got
other.
you. Okay.
But this was kind of where I developed that baggage of being a wild card versus like someone consistent. And that's still like a baggage that I carry with me. We got coffee the other day, and she's with someone and very much in love with him, and like that's awesome. And I truly am happy for her. And we basically have had like a state of the union, if you will, or which we talked a few months ago, and then we're like, can we be friends? Can we hang out? And when we finally went for a walk in the park, and I love her so much. And, you know,
I think that each episode there's a different person that you're like, just text me back. I love you so much.
I love her so much. I love her. She's the one.
The girl from the creek still
Sending
Has
out
she
the save
messaged
the
you back?
dates.
Izzy,
Yeah.
Izzy, I can't even talk about that. It's so not okay. I am very happy for her, and I genuinely do want to be friends. I don't know. It'll be. I
Do
think we
you
can
think
do it.
that you can? So this is on you to like bite your tongue on how your actual feelings and how important is that for you to remain like to have this person remain in your life and be friends, or just kind of casually be friendly and as it comes about.
Yeah, and if you're listening, just fast forward. No, I can be friends, and I also I really the human being. I really love the human being, and so I would like to be friends with them. I really do.
Okay, so
Let's vote. Let's vote.
Let's go back to just the original question of, can men and women be friends strictly platonically? Jordan, I'm going to kick it off to you.
I hate you guys so much for this every time. I guess I live in that gray area. Like there's different layers.
So you're gray.
Situations. I think ultimately, yes, they can be. It's situation by situation. And I think there's a maturity that comes with it, whether you had a past and there was no like intense emotion. I think like when you bring like ex-boyfriends and you like dated for a while, that's way more complicated. But I guess I live in gray, but I do think that yes, they can with some gray.
And Weber, what do you think?
I'm going to give a yes, but both parties have to not actually have feelings. You can find the other person attractive, but you can't have actual feelings. Once someone does, no,
Agreed.
You can't be friends.
Agreed.
And I am going to go with absolutely not. It is black and white, and men and women cannot be friends without there being some kind of sexual energy.
Hot take, Robbie.
I don't think it's possible. If there's any level of attraction, then it's game on.
and I'm just gonna say this. Do you think it's because you are a very tall, sexy man that it's harder for you?
I definitely, first of all, thank you for calling me attractive. I am 6'3", so there
I
is
feel like I
that.
get
Every
more DMs of me to like reach out to you for people than people are DMing me for me, if I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, send it. No. And I think I also am very attracted to women. So like I sense to have that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it's my chemistry.
Okay, love that. All right, I have an additional topic. Are we have we
Send
put
it.
a
Yeah, 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 yeah,
bow
yeah,
on
yeah.
And then
that?
I've got some
So I
questions
was
from the audience that we'll queue up.
okay. I want to throw you guys one more topic that I think
Okay.
will be interesting because you guys aren't ready for it, and also yeah, and then we'll jump into questions later.
Let's go.
So I was listening a little bit more to Dan Savage, and he brought up the fact that there's no such thing as the one. There's the 0.68, and we have to round up to make that person the one. That like that we're all looking for that perfect person, that quote unquote the one who checks all our boxes, is the type of person that we see as like we're looking for this type of woman, or man, or whoever's listening out on this. And so that to have a successful relationship, that no one is perfect, and so you have to kind of convince yourself that this 0.68 of a person is enough for you. Do you
And,
agree or disagree with
and
that,
just to
or what's your
clarify,
thoughts?
because it's a super specific number, and that might be just like a catchy thing.
Why isn't
Sure.
it 0.69 just to make it a
Sure, we can do
little
0.69. Sorry, I just was listening to it, and that's what he said. That was my
I'm a
bad to
child,
not make
sorry.
the joke
After
of
after Rob was
0.69.
like, I think I'm a sexual person. He's like, why doesn't he just make you? Uh, so he's basically saying, find someone who's 2/3 of the way there. That'd be 66%. Find someone who's 2/3 of the way there, and be happy with that.
I
Right?
agree. I
Yeah.
agree with that. I mean,
I don't know. Keep going, but I don't know.
well,
Okay, so
I
what if
think
it
the
what if it was
percentage is a
eight?
little low, to be
Sure.
honest.
Let's
I
say
Yeah,
would
85%. I
I
think
think
I need
I
somebody in
think,
the 90s, to be honest. Like
and
I need
also what percentages? Like what is that 10%? It's not all equal.
sure, because then later on in this episode that I was listening of his, he does talk about the 85-15% thing, where I think that probably hits you guys at a, because 68 does feel a bit low, and so there's like, because no one's perfect. You have to look at yourself and be like, I have my flaws. We're talking about our issues and our vulnerabilities and all this other stuff that like we can't expect our partner to be perfect if we're not perfect, and we have to understand
Sure.
that and have self-awareness. So can you like, and I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, settle for someone that isn't like what you're seeking for and convince yourself that they're there. But it was just an interesting way, because so much of social media is I'm dating for my perfect person. They have to be perfect. They have to walk in. We have to feel fireworks and sparks from the second like they text me, and they text me constantly, and it's all that like this fairy tale that we're fed a little bit. So I'm just curious to see. I thought it was an interesting thing. I don't know if I fully believe in it. The 68 does feel a little low. Let's say 69, and maybe let's go 85%. Does that feel better for you?
I guess my answer to it is I dated someone for a long time because of the logical, they checked a lot of boxes and they made a lot of sense. And I think I'm at a place in my life where that, I don't want that, but I also don't want grass is always greener and we're always looking for the 100% perfect, because I think we agree that doesn't exist. I guess I just, and it's everyone's own journey of what they're looking for. I guess I don't want to give up on, and I'm not going to, that notion of just like, you just feel it and you're
yeah.
swept off your feet and you're just like, wow, like I'm so excited to be with this person.
I agree. I was just going to go back to like the swept off your feet kind of feeling, which I have felt before. And I've been in love a few times in my life, like really infatuated love. And I think you guys have as well. Obviously meeting Noelle, it was just like, here we like, this is insane. This is good. And I know I've talked about that before. Um, but in my life, I'm getting more intentional knowing that that feeling of being swept off my feet at 23 is going to feel different than at 34 or
Mm.
35 when I meet my next partner in crime. And so I guess my like, not that like my gut reaction won't be there, because it will. Like I still trust in my senses and my ability to be like, that woman she's the one, and go for it. But I think 68 or 69% is like, seems a little low.
Okay.
But I don't know how it is to like quantify what that percentage is.
Sure. And I'm not sitting here being like, I agree with him 100%. It just got brought up. So I was curious and I thought
Well,
it was
it's
a
like
good
the other
topic to go
study.
into.
The study last week was kind of like when you meet somebody who's as good as your best ex, just do it.
Commit.
Right.
And I don't know.
That's kind of been in my head since
Really?
last episode. I've been thinking about it a lot, where I'm just like, whoa, if I meet somebody that's just like better than my like best ex, which would, I guess it's Noelle, like, how,
Man,
then
well,
commit. But see, then it goes into the comparison thing, which has shot me in the foot a little bit. So I
it's
don't know.
fair, man. That's totally real. It is comparison-y.
And I'm sure you're comparison-y too.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's so tough. It's so tough because where do you meet that Venn diagram of logic with emotional? And I don't want to say emotional. I mean more of like instinctual gut feeling of like, ooh, this person. You know? I don't know. I feel like it's like some cross section of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me think, Alex, when we were out when we went out in Denver, and we were talking to this group of girls, and it was a girl in her early 30s as well, being like, "How are you guys still single? Like, why haven't you settled on someone?"
How
And I
much
was like,
time you got?
yeah, it was like,
Still single.
right, and also it was like that verbiage is really poor to be like, why haven't you settled on someone? Like, like this. And I was like, why do we need to settle? That verbiage is really poor. So that comes up in my head a lot too. So I am intrigued, Rob, that you're still thinking about that study about at like 26, you get,
Well, because then I also go, well, wait a minute. I met Noelle at 23, so and I was in a 7-year on and off relationship before that. So like I haven't had like that 18 to 40 like dating period, because I've been such a relationship guy. So it's like, but I'm definitely being mindful and intentional of just like, wait a minute, like if there is something great, don't, just lean in and don't second guess it. So
Well, Rob, you said something the other day that stuck with me too. Um, this is in the same line. I guess one thing is like all three of us, myself, Jordan, Rob, we're each navigating our own individual journey with dating. But we are navigating it. And Rob, you said something to me which was like, this is probably our last, hopefully, our last experience in dating. So, almost say yes to the experience or go for that walk or have that second date. And even if it's not a total match, and see and kind of have those experiences, explore it with people. I'm curious what you guys think, because this might be the last time that ever happens in our lives. Hopefully.
just hang in
just
there, man.
hang in there. Still single.
Still single, episode 987.
The longest running podcast in podcasting history. Still single. They're still fucking single. How is that possible? You guys are 108 and you haven't found
Sponsored by Ensure.
and adult
Depends.
diapers.
Depends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depends. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I said that to you. So I was just in Austin over the weekend with Weber, and it was just like, I want to go out. Like I wanted to just go out and go out on the town and like meet people and mingle and just like it. I don't know. I definitely have that spontaneous like FOMO kind of feeling of like, oh wait, if I'm gonna miss out, or this girl could be the one, or this experience could lead me to that person. And I don't know. I just want to like lean into it.
We're on the trust tree here. I gotta just share this anecdote.
Go for it.
Rob is so like direct, charming, affable, talking to women, and he's so like it's really endearing to see him do it. And he inspired me. There was a very pretty girl that I wanted to say hi to, and I thought of Rob, and I said, because I can get so awkward, so awkward. So I was just like, but I was like, be like Rob. And I carry my stress in my fingers.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
But it's my strong hand.
It's my strong.
Trust me.
Keep going. Keep going.
So we were at Soho House, trendy much in Austin, and there's this very beautiful woman, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna say hi to her, just as we talked about in the podcast, if nothing else, for the exercise of being nervous and talking to someone in public. So I went up and I just said, you have a very beautiful smile. And I thought that was a very Rob thing too. It was just direct. It was honest. It wasn't like a line, you know? And she was like really well received, and she was with her friend, and we had like a really nice time talking. She has a boyfriend. I
remember these girls.
Yes.
She was really cute.
She was really cute. But then Rob came over and Rob said hi to her. And I'm like, smitten with this woman. And Rob says, hey, and he goes, you're so pretty. Like, you have a beautiful, and you have like a really sweet sounding voice. And I was like, Rob, you're too good at this, man. Like, take a walk.
I remember I really cheesed it up. I put my arms up on the table. Knelt down, and I held their hands. I was like, wow, you are really, I don't know. First of all, I'm glad I heard you stayed out all night. So
hold on. That sounds very hold on. That sounds very misleading. Like I went back with someone. They had a boyfriend.
With anybody.
I stayed out with my two buddies, Kevin and Matt, and then we drove to the house that 8 guys were staying at for the men's retreat. No, but that was a fun night.
Shout out, men we admire.
Men we admire.
Men we admire. Hashtag. Yeah, that was a great.
All right, we're back.
All right, should I play a question?
It's nice to share these real life anecdotes. I'll be honest. I think me, Jordan, and Rob have a little shame, or not shame, but embarrassment of. Maybe I just do. I won't speak for you guys.
Alex,
I don't know where you're going.
Jordan definitely doesn't have it. Let's just
Jordan has no shame.
Jordan has no shame whatsoever.
No shame, Jordan.
He has sex with all of his friends. He just thanks his girlfriend.
My mom listens to this podcast. Can we not?
I'm kidding.
But what are we being shameful or embarrassed about? I'm confused.
I don't know. I guess bridging the gap from real-time life with Still Single podcast, but it feels good to do that. So yeah.
Can I say something?
Please.
Rob.
I was just gonna say, Alex, I think all of the anecdotes that you've shared thus far in the first 7 episodes of this podcast have been so spot on, vulnerable, truthful, completely selfless. You haven't made fun of anybody. I've definitely stopped recording on some of these episodes and been like, was I a dick? Did I just make fun of a girl that I used to have feelings for? And
yeah.
I think us checking ourselves is a very healthy thing to do. And again, don't feel any shame.
Thank you.
I would call you out on it. I'd be like, dude, are you sure you want to say that?
For sure. Yeah.
Stop recording. Yeah.
Exactly. I will say though that hearing the story of you guys going out together, it brought me even more FOMO, and I feel like we need to have a Still Single night out on the town weekend somewhere. I think we should coordinate that. Maybe a live podcast somewhere.
That's kind of my dream. Is us
why don't we
doing
do a
live
live show? I've had multiple people reach out, be like, when are you guys going on tour?
That'd be amazing.
I'm not kidding.
Where would we do it? LA?
We could do one in LA.
LA, Chicago, Denver, New York. Probably cancel last minute.
I'll just cancel.
We do one and no one comes. It's just us 3.
Honestly,
theater.
guys, if you're listening to this episode 7 of Still Single, the pod, just DM us if you would actually come see us live, record one of the episodes, or Weber and I have done stand-up. Weber is a stand-up. I'm a stand-up. Jordan could put together some
We're
some
doing
bits.
a podcast. I don't need to do a 5-minute bit.
No, we're getting you. You got to do a bit, dude.
Okay,
So yeah,
great.
let us know if you would travel out, if we were to go on tour or something like that. Let us know because that would be fun as
That'd be so cool.
fucking hell. All right, I'm gonna play a
Hit us.
question. I haven't listened to this question yet.
Love
So
that. Wow.
Play it.
Jan on the move with Jan.
Oh, I love her.
See, that's what happened to me last time too. I think you're gonna have to do it through your computer. There's something
Just,
about the Instagram delay that if you wait like a day or two, it just won't play anymore.
No.
Can you get it through the computer?
And just play it to your speaker. It like captures the audio and then it sends it to our end.
This guy.
Oh my
This guy.
god, I'm getting nervous now.
Here, I want to help you out, but I got nothing to offer in this downtime.
It's okay. We can just pause. Don't hit stop record
Yeah,
though.
don't. Yeah.
Just keep it
Keep it
going.
running.
I would never stop.
Guys, what a good episode so far.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're just vibing.
Chugga, chugga.
Can you guys hear?
I was
Yeah.
listening to this last one you guys did on the talk, and you were talking about love, and if you've experienced love, and if it didn't work out, you know you'll experience that again. I don't quite know about that, because what if you experience love and it happens to be a facade? Like the person that you loved never really existed. And what I mean by that is they were one way for about a year and 8 months of your relationship, and then they flipped the script on you, and turned out they were not who they said they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a follow up. Let me just play this last.
There's another recording. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go through something like that, yeah, you want to believe that you can love again, but it rocks you to the core. And when you find out your fiance, after you break up, is married 3 months later, it's like a blow to your whole entire thought of what love is, what love could be. Like, it totally rocks you to the core.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would you do in that situation? Because it totally rocks your whole opinion on what love is.
So, yeah, I feel like we all have stories on this. I mean, basically what we're talking about is the equivalent of like if you find out you've been cheated on, or someone gets over you super quick, or maybe someone was dating someone else behind your back, or they just are not the human being that you thought they were, right?
This one's bringing up a lot of emotions for me.
I was gonna say, I feel like this hits really close, Rob. Yeah, this is don't go to Darktown. Don't go to Darktown.
Stay in the light. Yeah.
Man.
And
Like initially I was, yeah, this is quite a, I mean, I'm sorry that Jen, that you went through that. That's a really tough situation. I think I'm going to just jump on the first part that she said, in terms of, loving someone and then potentially not loving someone again. And I think, like, as we've talked a lot about here on the podcast, is that there's different seasons of life. And, I think you have to, work on yourself and break down certain walls, and that there is different seasons of loving different people. And maybe it's not always romantic love, but it's finding love through friendship or through animals, or, that it can happen again. But at the same time, like, it's unfortunate that people suck. Like Alex said, we've all experienced, at least the three of us have experienced something along the lines of being cheated on, or have someone having another boyfriend when you thought you were like leading into that kind of realm with a person, and being totally blindsided by it and being like, wait, what? I let my guard down for you, and here I am, and having to build back up those pieces. So yeah, I mean, it's really tough. Like, therapy always helps me in these situations.
Yeah. I'll also just throw in like communication. So like to Jordan's note, I think one is it just sucks. I've been on both sides of that, meaning like I was cheated on with someone that I really loved, and then in the next relationship, I just didn't trust at all. And so I was almost like doing shitty things before they could. And like, who's that hurting? That's hurting her, that's hurting me, that's hurting the other people. So that wasn't good. Um, I ultimately think it does need to have boundaries around like that person and that situation was its own and not to bring that into the new relationships. But the last thing I'll say is I think just communication. Like one thing that I've brought up is that that's still from that college relationship. I've it's been a long time and I've moved past that. But there's still a few things that will like trigger me and I'll get a little squirrely or I'll get jealous or I'll get like, wait, what was that? And so the best thing I found is just to let someone know, hey, just so you know, this is why this might come up for me. If it does, this is how it might look for me. If there's anything that you can do to just like turn up the dial on reassuring me or helping me out in this way, I'd appreciate that. Ice cream on me. So I think just communication.
Snaps. Ooh, what kind of
Yeah.
ice cream?
Yeah. What kind of ice cream are we getting?
We ate so much this weekend, ice cream.
I love ice cream. Just going back to what Jen said,
Yeah.
first of all, like, I'm sorry about your breakup and a failed engagement. I've been there. It's hard. It's really tough. And especially when somebody rebounds really fast and kind of just like moves on with their life, it can be really painful. Um, I guess communication is the most important thing in any new relationship. So like something that I learned from my last relationship about about my relationship with mourning my late wife, Noelle, is that keeping Noelle's memory alive is actually really important to me and something that I want to be like vocal about. And I've obviously healed to a place where I can actually like talk about it, which is just important. Like I want Leia to like know the memory of her mother, and that's just like important to me. And whoever my partner is going to be, like I'll be very upfront about that, and that'll be like a non-negotiable. If that makes her uncomfortable, then it's like, okay, well then we're not compatible. um I'd say that like for somebody to change in 18 months, uh first of all, the world changed a lot in the last few years. So like different circumstances could have like been a bit of a pressure cooker for your ex, where it's just like, wait a minute, how did I get into this position? I didn't know that it was going to feel or look or sound like this. And now I'm in it, and maybe I'm not 100%. So you can't fault them. Everybody's human, and it happens like it happens to so many people. It just really does.
Yeah, and I think removing the why questions of like wanting to get answers from this person, that no matter what answer they give you, it's not going to satisfy that cut that they created. And so the more that you can just go through the process of mourning it, being upset, being sad, being angry, growing, building, like whatever those steps are in that, and removing the need to get answers from that person, and you just understand, this is where I'm moving next. This is how I want to be. This is my next partner is going to be X, Y, and Z. They're like, I'm going to know these red flags when I see them, because I mean, I've talked to so many people about the amount of times looking back at ex relationships being like, yep, that was a red flag that I ignored. Yep, that was one, like, why didn't I, so early on, so many times that we're just like blinded by this excitement and this infatuation, that trust your gut, trust your intuition when something comes up where you're like, that's alarming, to be like, and to Alex's point of maybe communicating that a little bit more, being like, hey, I'm going to dip, you're acting this way, like change your behavior, or I don't have time for this. Your patience around it is none.
Yeah.
Do we have another one?
Don't give up on love, Jen.
Yeah, one more, right?
I can't find the other one.
Sorry.
I'm trying.
This is what editing's for.
I'm
Let's go one
trying to
more.
find it.
I mean, I guess we can do Renee, I guess, if that's right there. I can have
I think
Helen come in
I think
and just
Renee is
do-
the one from last
Okay.
time.
Oh, okay. Should we
It's
get
funny because
Helen's
people
British
send in their
accent
questions to
I-
We Are Still Single.
I had a topic that I thought was interesting, but I think I can bring it up and
Yeah,
then you
go
guys
for
can
it.
shoot it down.
Webs with a question. Let's go.
I thought it was just an interesting thing because I think our female listeners and our male listeners might be curious. Thoughts on who pays for dates, when, how, best practices, cadence. Because I'll nominate this. I really do. I want to take out the person that I've asked to go on a date, and sometimes that might look like we're going to a nice dinner. Sometimes that might look like we're grabbing a drink somewhere, or we're grabbing a coffee and walking around a park. And I really do like doing that, whether that's like a quote unquote man role or not. I just like doing that. But I will say, so someone I went out with in my past said, should I offer to pay? And it was a really weird thing because it wasn't offering to pay. It was saying, should I offer to pay? And I was just like, that's like an odd way to phrase it. Like it's like too removed.
See, I'm so black and white in this too.
Well, so I'm in it, but then what I'll say is
So
like
say-
I've gone on a date where I've taken out someone for dinner and then we got ice cream, or the next night we went and got coffee or a drink or something, and she
Back to
wanted
backs. This guy rules.
and she wanted to do that. And I will say I thought that was a really nice gesture. It's like obviously not the same financial amount, but that didn't matter to me. It's more of the gesture of I think there's a lot of good qualities in that.
Definitely. I can go on this.
Hit it.
I think for a first date, man and woman, they meet. Maybe they're getting a drink. Maybe they're
Okay.
getting a whole meal of food.
Yeah.
Maybe a coffee. Who knows? The man always pays, no matter what.
Dude, so many black and white things from Rob today.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very black and white.
Yeah.
I'm just the man always pays.
There's
the woman is coming out for this potential murder, where not a murder, but let's say just potential. Like first of all, for me to be, I'm not
No, I
saying
get it.
women
I get it.
I'm just saying it's like women are taking a bigger risk by going out with a man. A man is not making any kind of risk, in my opinion. Can you guys hear me?
You're great.
Loud and
You're
clear.
A lot of
Okay.
hot takes. A lot of hot takes. Yeah.
I'm a hot boy today. Hot take boy. I do think that after so first night, guy pays. Second date, guy pays. Third date, that's when it's I think pretty cool for a girl to be like, I'm gonna pay. And don't even say should I offer, but it's cool to even say before like the bill even comes, like I'm gonna pay, or before you even order, I'm paying, or I'm taking us out. So first date guy, second date guy, third date girl.
First date. I love this. I love this. And I'm sure
That's awesome that you make it to a third date. That must be so cool. Sounds so fun. I do agree with both of you in a lot of these situations. I think if I'm asking someone out, like if I, like the girl from the coffee shop and I'm like, hey, let's get together and do that. That was my initiation of that. That's on me. She didn't ask to do this stuff, but she's agreeing to do it. So you're taking that person out. So it's on you to cover that. I'm not as black and white on like first two for sure, and then the third it like open. I do agree with Alex. It's not about matching the monetary value. It is just respecting the fact that your time has value also, and that you're not just here like being a wallet. That she's being like, hey, you got the even on the first night out, if it's like you're going out and getting drinks and it's like you get the first 2 or 3 rounds and she's like, hey, you've done the first like 3 rounds, let me get this round. And you're like, no, it's okay. And she pushes, and it's like, okay, thank you for, giving.
I agree.
And it shows like, I would like, a woman who, is assertive like that as well. There is that dance, I guess, early on too, in the first or second date of just like the offer, the gesture of willing to do it. And it's like, I got it. It's cool. Like I'm here to take,
The
like
slow reach for the purse.
Yeah. Exactly.
Should I?
Where is this thing? But I think over time there is that then balance of like not necessarily alternating the pay, but like where the girl is covering her costs, and it's not being like, hey, this dinner costs XYZ, so you have to meet this financial goal with that. Also,
there's a healthy balance. I would
also
agree.
dinner first dates is a hard no for me. I'm black and white on that.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I mean, I know people are into different things, but I really think a first date, unless you've met and already have some kind of bond, I think like doing something where you're gonna be a little less pressure. Like I think it's fun to either go get a coffee and like go walk around, or yeah, like go to maybe a cool spot and get a drink. But
I didn't even know you liked coffee, Weber. You go on a lot of coffee dates.
Just veggie drinks, smoothies, Shrek.
So, well, and also Jordan goes, when you go for the fourth round, and I haven't drank in 10 months now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed that. I'm so sick of Pellegrinos. Like, I don't.
Well, that's a rare night for me too. Having 4 rounds, that's a lot. Like I'm just giving like some kind of examples with that.
After 4 rounds, you're
making out on the dance floor.
You're making out on the dance floor, and then you're going home and petting each other
with T-Pain Buy You a Drink playing. Actually, we didn't drink at all that night. So,
which night?
I think like the dinner first date where you're sitting there and you're chewing in front of each other. You're trying to connect. The waiter comes by 4 times because you guys are like vibing, and it's like, no, sorry, we haven't looked at the menu. We'll get to it. Thanks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is just.
It's definitely a hard no for dinner on the first date. I made the mistake of doing that recently. First date, Hinge. She got in my car. She's like, "You'll never guess what I do for work." And I was like, "What? Okay, what do you do?" She's like,
"It's
guess.
Not in her profile.
Just guess." And I was like, "You're a teacher." She's like, "No." I was like, "I hate this game." She's like, "Guess again." It's like, you're like a influencer content creator. No. She's like cracking up in the front seat of my car.
40 minutes later, you're like, you are in nursing school.
She goes, like literally, I was like, I hate this so much, and I've signed up for dinner. Then she goes, "You won't even guess. I'm a chiropractor." And I was like, cool. Like, okay. She's like, "I'm a chiropractor and I adjust people all day long." And I was like, I hate you.
Well, you didn't filter this out beforehand. Also, snaps to you, the antiquated, I shouldn't say antiquated, I should say the old school of you going and picking them up is...
I'm an old school kind of guy.
Clearly.
I live in the 1960s in the Notebook era, and I try and recreate it. Under every shirt I wear,
we were just about to wrap the episode, and Rob asked again.
I had to plug the Notebook.
Rob shows up in those little hats.
It's my go-to. It's my go-to.
Oh gosh.
Well, guys, I mean, I feel like this episode was great.
I'm having so much fun with you guys.
So much fun. Weber's
say it
in
back.
A,
say it back.
Hotel.
Why didn't you guys say it back?
No, I had a great time. This is awesome.
I love you guys. This is awesome. This is so good. I just hope that you're in a little better internet and a microphone next time. I know our production is not and that's for me too. I still need to get a new microphone as well. And my lighting is just completely shot.
Guys, we so appreciate your earballs and listening to the Still Single podcast. If you don't mind, send us in a couple questions for episode 8. We love hearing from you, and give us that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. I know how we'll end the episode. We got to read some of the reviews on this.
Love you, Alex. I love you. You seem like you're down right now because
did the internet mess up?
No, you were fine. You were fine. It was a little choppy sometimes, but it's okay.
Love you, man. We love you.
Thank you, guys. I needed it. I'm in a hotel in the middle.
And we'll have to figure out a first city for us to go explore and have great.
That really is the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see why we can't do that. Oh, if you guys want us to go on tour or like meet us in person, like DM us and we'll start putting some dates together. Okay, here's On the Move with Jen. This was Jen who left the thing. Here he goes. Love this. 5 stars. I don't binge watch TV shows, but I will binge listen to this podcast. In fact, I'm all caught up, so I need another one to listen to. LOL. This is so refreshing hearing from guys in the single world that aren't douchebags and their humorous
That's
dating
good to hear.
experiences and flops. It helps us to know us single folks are not alone in this world. Being 40 and single was never my plan, but thanks to your podcast, it has helped me change my perspective on being single. Still single.
That's cool.
Still single.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm embracing it and enjoying the season I am in instead of looking at it like I am diving for a golden ticket in the midst of a dumpster on all the dating apps. Keep them coming and keep being real. I love it. Wow.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
What a strong Jen episode.
What a great Jen episode. Maybe this episode is called The Jen. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next week. Like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and give Jordan Kahana a follow at Jordan Kahana or at I'm Alex Weber, and you can find me at Single Girl Dad. You threw me off with the I'm. It's at Single Girl Dad on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll be back next week. Much love.